Hello guys, I hope you all are doing well and welcome to a new video. In this video, I'm gonna discuss three simple hacks that you can use to make your option spreads more profitable consistently, and the consistently is a key here. You may be playing spreads, but if you are not consistently profitable, then your overall loss would be more than your profit. So we are gonna see three simple hacks that you can actually use to make your option spreads more profitable. So let's start. Okay, so hack number one, right? This is, I would say, hack or trick, whatever you want to call it. This is trading spreads always on ETF rather than stocks. So I prefer to do in on ETF in more than a stock, and there are simple reasons for that. So let's check those, right? So first thing, the ETF, right? Like for example, QQQ or SPY, right? They do not move like a stock, so they tend to have a low standard deviation. That means you can think that of a low IV or an high IV, right? So ETF will always have a low standard deviation. That means it does not move that much as a stock. Let's look at the graph here, right? So if you see this graph, right, what you can see here is in the red, right, that you can think of as a ETF. So for a ETF, this line here represents the standard deviation, right? So in case of the ETF, the standard deviation here would be low compared to the stock, right? So this you can think of as a stock. As you can see, this is a high IV, right? So it's always better for the spreads that your moves are kind of limited. Otherwise you would be struggling to make your positions or adjust your positions. One more point is this one, right? So you may have gains in terms of, like, if you, let's say you do put credit spread, right, and the stock really moves upward, you may have a huge gain. But the reverse is also true. If you have played the same put credit spread and the market really goes down, in that case you are at risk of losing your capital, right? So but in case of ETF, your risk would be low and you will have much more time to react to that, because the move is not that instant. So you can always adjust your position based on where you see the market going in a coming week or month. Also ETFs, right? So ETFs are not impacted much by the earnings, right? So let's say for an example, let's take an example of Nvidia, right? So when Nvidia recently released their earnings, right, if you see here, there's a huge gap up that you see, right? So because the earnings were really good and it really gapped up. So in this case, if you had played like a call credit spread, right, where you expect the Nvidia to not move that much for your profit to make the complete 100% profit, but in this case since it gapped up really quick, you would be losing your complete capital if you had played that bear call spread or call credit spread, right? A similar thing happened here, right? If you see, these are all the earnings cases, right? So in case of earnings, you don't know which direction it could go, but you can be certain that the direction would be quick. And in this case, as you can see, it moved really up, similar to this one, right, where it moved up. And here also you would be struggling to adjust your position if you had played that call credit spread, right? So that's why it's always best to have not do the individual stocks in case of spreads, especially because you don't know how the earnings are gonna play out. If it plays in your favor, you are in luck, you may make the complete 100%. However, if it goes in the other direction, you would be losing the complete capital. Now, similar to the earnings, right, the ETFs are not affected that much by individual stock news, right? So, for example, if a chip of Nvidia fails to make that market that they were expecting, or if a product of any company fails, then that news would negatively impact the stock and the stock could go down sharply. But in case of ETFs, that product or that news would not impact the ETF that much, because ETF is made up of a lot of individual stocks, right? So you are still safe, that you have time to react. So let's quickly recap on this particular hack, right? So there, the advantage that you have is your profit and loss will be much more consistent. So, and I would say that your profits would be more, based on my experience in doing this in ETF like SPY and QQQ, and it would be a consistent play that you would be doing. The second is it provides more stability and it is easy to manage, and this is very important in case of spreads, because when the market goes in other direction on what you had expected, it's always good to have something which is less volatile, so that you can better manage. Okay, hack number 2, right? And this is to do with the market upward or downward quick swings. So always take advantage of any extreme that you see in the market. And for example, if you see that market is keep moving in a single direction for several days or weeks, that provides a very good opportunity to play the spreads. And let me explain that with an example, right? So for example, if a direction is upward for several weeks, it's a good opportunity for you to play the bear call spread or call create spread, right? So in this case, right, as you can see, if the market is continuously moving in upward direction, there is a very good chance that it may go down for a few weeks, and that is a very good time to open a bear call spread, or you call that as a call create spread, right? So that is a good time to kind of play that strategy, because your chances of profit in that case would be much higher. And the same is true for the other way also. If the market is continuously going downwards, and that presents an opportunity to play the reverse of that, which is a bull put spread, or what you call as a put create spread. So this is the graph for that, right? So as you can see, if you play this if you enter this at the very right time, you can be really profitable in this case with a very less capital, and it does not require that much capital, and your both risk and reward ratio, right, that is kind of very good. However, the timing matters, and in this case, if you see that it continuously going down, that's a good place to enter it, so that you enter here and then you play it completely upwards. And by the way, guys, if you are not very familiar with this put create spread or a call create spread or this kind of spread strategies, I have a lot of videos in my channel. You can watch them to kind of get a deeper understanding of these strategies and how you can play it correctly. Okay, the final one is the stagger entry, right? So what I mean by this, right? So it's basically, let's say that you have some capital to open a spread, right? The strategy that I would say is very important here is you do not put all of your planned capital in a single spread position. You should always plan to stagger it in a different entry point. You can divide either by date to expiry, that's DTE, or you can have a different strike price. So let's take an example to understand this better. So let's say that you have planned to put $500 in capital, right, in total, and you want to open a $1 wide put create spread, for example, and you want to open 5 position of that, right, with a date to expiry as 45 days, right? So this is kind of that's your planning. But let's say that market goes down, right, and all of your put create spread, let's say for example, has a strike price of $100, right? So if the market goes below $100, you're gonna lose the complete capital on this, right? So what this strategy actually means is that you do not put all of your capital together. You divide it in this case, let's say you divide it in two separate positions of 300 and 200. And what you do is you enter that 300 position. That means you open like three positions for date to expiry as 45 days, and then you see if the market further goes down, then you open the another one with a shorter date to expiry, right? So that kind of gives you more flexibility in terms of closing the positions and balancing out your profit and loss, right? So if you could be in some loss on your first position, but you can always make that up with your second position, so you always have a room to kind of overall still become profitable in this position. So always have that this strategy in mind, that you should not open or put all of your capital in one single position in one single date to expiry. And the similar case actually applies to not just DT. You can always do with a different strike price as well. And this is a good strategy if the direction is sudden, either upward or downward. You can always use this strategy in both ways. So in case the market is going down, you can do the put credit spread, and if you think the market is going up, then you can always play the call credit spread and do the similar kind of staggering there. So where you open a call position for the spread, and then if the market further goes up, then you open the second position. So it's kind of just a reverse of this, right? So that was it, guys, for this video. I just wanted to quickly tell you how you can be more profitable in spreads. If you have any questions in any of these three hacks that I have explained, please put your questions down in the comment and I will respond to them. And also, as I said, I have a lot of videos explaining the spread strategies in detail in my channel. I do have a Robinhood series as well that you can check out, and that explains all the steps on how you can actually execute these strategies. Happy investing, guys. I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye bye.